Hello and welcome to Inner Star Alchemy. This is your reading for Wednesday, the 5th of November. It's a full moon day today in Germany, at least. The beautiful full moon is shining brightly outside. I've already gone for a walk. So this is your reading for today. I hope you'll enjoy it, and let's begin. I have asked the question concerning abundance and financial wealth and prosperity, what it is that might help you today to further your blessings, to remove any blocks or receive any messages that might help you concerning this topic. And the cards I drew from different decks I'm going to show you right now. From the Alchemy, the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, I drew the Dissolution card and the Autumn card. And that's a very interesting message to start with, because the Dissolution card is describing a process in alchemy where something is transformed through dissolving it in water. That's what we see in this card. And this card speaks about surrendering to the alchemical process of dissolution that leads us to our essence. So every part is being dissolved, and what's left is only the pure essence of the thing that's been dissolved in the water. And concerning to our selves, it speaks about dissolving the ego and surrendering to this whole process. And while we do that, giving up old identities, old beliefs, old labels, and the ego self, so that we can come to the true authentic self and witness it, see who we truly are, which is a pretty unnerving process, because by dissolving we completely lose our stability. We cling to our identity, but we gain the knowledge of who we truly are, which in my opinion is why we are here, or why we go through this learning process on earth, is to find the way back to our true nature and get to know our true selves and the true powerful divine beings that we are. So that's a powerful card to start the reading with. And then Autumn talks about a time of abundance, a time of harvest, of hard work paying off, and something being very fruitful, and us harvesting these fruits. And it also talks about gratitude and generosity and giving back to the world, essentially. So these are two energies that we are starting the reading off, and we will bring the whole message together when we get further along in the reading. I just want to show first the main cards that I drew, and then we go into the accompanying messages that will bring this whole thing together. The next card from the deck that I truly love is the Cosmos Oracle. It's a little challenging to work with, as well as the decks from Kim Krans. They're so very deep and so creative and hold so much information That's why I drew the cards in advance, because I really have to read through the meanings and sit with it and digest it, meditate on it a bit to deliver a reading that makes sense in the end, because I find that I haven't worked enough with these cards to deliver impromptu messages, to be honest. So from the Cosmos Oracle, we have Fusion, and very, very beautiful card. Reminds me of the Vesica Pisces symbol, and it talks about union, or two separate things merging together and creating something new. A new energy is born, something new that hasn't existed before now comes into existence. So it talks about creativity, it talks about unity, about birth, and the alchemical process again, which is truly funny. But it also talks about union and communion, so like coming together as a community, and where every individual contributes to creating something new, or the whole is more than its parts, so to speak. And the second card is the geocentric model, which is also, all cards of this deck are truly beautiful and deep, and I love it. Geocentric model talks about the wounded ego, about having the outlook in life that me, everything evolves around me, or being the center of the world, which is a very egotistical way to look at things. And it's asking, this card is asking to look at this wounded ego and what lies beneath. So if we experience fear and pain and our projections onto others, and it's asking us to work with those feelings and to heal them through looking at them and changing the perspective, and then bringing the wounded ego home to self-love. That's kind of what that card is talking about. And I drew other cards because this ego card came out. I felt called to draw a card from the wounded sacred woundings archetype deck, which is also a very great deck to work with. And I drew the wound of the invisible one because I wanted to look deeper into this ego problem that might be blocking us from the wealth mindset, the abundance mindset. We already know that it's got something to do with self-love and feeling unworthy. So I wanted to dig deeper. And this wound talks about feeling unseen, unchosen, unrecognized. And this wound arises when your presence is overlooked, your voice unheard, or your value dismissed. You may blend into the background, not by choice, but by pattern. It can leave you feeling irrelevant, disconnected, or questioning whether you matter at all. And I think this is really something to look into. I feel it resonates a lot with this theme today. And what this archetypal wound speaks about leads to a feeling or a pattern of self-doubt, which is another card that I drew. This one is from the I guess, Heal Yourself oracle deck. And it talks about because we don't feel worthy, or we experienced a lot of dismissal energies in our lives, we lack trust in ourselves, and it all comes down to not feeling worthy. And that's really something we need to look at. And the opposite of self-doubt is hope. So can we find a way to maybe view ourselves as being, what's the word, successful, with money, with abundance, through looking at maybe other other parts in our lives where we actually are successful. Maybe we were good at school, or at university, or there's a hobby we are really good at, or because nobody is all bad, if you know what I mean. Actually, nobody is ever bad. It's all programming. You're a beautiful, pure, divine being that deserves love and abundance. I need to tell you this in case nobody told you this today. It's all just false matrix programming, and trauma, and bad experiences, and people projecting their trauma onto you that made you believe from a very young age that something is wrong with you, that you're somehow bad or flawed. But it's actually not true. It's just a story you learned to believe and to repeat in your mind all over again and again. But it's hardwired into our brain and into our nervous system. That's why it's not that easy to let go of these things, because our nervous system is our subconscious field. Our body is our subconsciousness, sort of, and it reacts very quickly. We don't process everything in life consciously. That would take up too much brain power. It's not possible. So we save energy by reacting quickly and outsourcing decisions by routines and things we learn in the early years until the age of 7. We have this brain waves where we are like programmed through a what's the name, like a hypnotic state, like we're in hypnosis kind of way. I don't know which brain waves it is actually. Theta. I would have to look it up, but I guess you know what I mean. So all these thoughts and beliefs are programmed into us, and it's can take some time to, depends on how long we have already lived with these stories in our head and programmed into our field and into our nervous system, to unwire this belief system. So be kind to yourself while you do this work, while you try to better your situation, to find your worthiness, work through it on a daily basis, and remind yourself that those stories you think about yourself are actually not true, and to find aspects in your life and parts, topics, themes in your life where you can actually prove that you are worthy. Because that might be easier to believe in the beginning, and the longer you do it and the more you practice it, you will eventually come to the conclusion that you were never unworthy. But it's hard to jump from complete deep feeling of shame and unworthiness to, oh, that was just a false story and now I know I'm free. That I wish it would be like that, but for most people, unfortunately, it's not. But that's why I do these readings, because I want to help you to uncover the stories that go deep, that go on deep within our psyche and the programming that we have, and to bring it into the our consciousness, so that we can work on it and dissolve it eventually. A beautiful card from the Reclaim Oracle that I drew with this. I wanted to know the feeling that we deal with concerning this whole reading, concerning this topic of abundance, which we might look at and maybe let go or dissolve. And interestingly enough, the card that came up was envy. And envy talks about a feeling of lack. We feel that we lack, so you feel that you lack something. And it's because you believe that you are not whole, that something is missing. So you envy the story of somebody else because you have the belief that your wishes, your dream you want to come true is unattainable for you. Let that sink in. Envy is like a compass. It shows you what you truly want. And it asks you, why do you think you cannot have it? Why do you think maybe you don't deserve it? What makes the other person that you envy like better than you? Are they special somehow? Are they more intelligent? Are they rich? What? Most of the time that's not the case. It's just another human being. We are all special in our own way, but most of the time it's not someone who's born rich or whatever. It's more like this person doesn't have any beliefs that hold them back. They were successful in going after their dream, and they maybe in the beginning, but later down the line, they didn't think about what other people might think about them, and they just went for it, and they were maybe brave, or I don't know, they figured it out. So instead of being envious, maybe think about talking to that person. Ask them, how did you do it? I really love what you made for yourself, how you brought this dream to life. It's my dream too. Can you give me any advice? Because I would love to create something similar for myself in my very own way. And most of the people are very kind people, and people like to talk about themselves and their achievements. So instead of envying the person, maybe just contact them, maybe befriend them even, and learn from them. We all can learn from everybody around us. Everybody has a unique story to share and some kind of wisdom we can learn from. And another message that I got was the Let Go of the Past card. It's from the Inner Child Oracle deck. Let go of the past, which to me speaks to all this we already talked about. It's like, yes, you have had trouble in the past. Yes, you have had beliefs that didn't serve you, but that's human. That's the human condition. We are all programmed to believe stuff that's not actually true. We are all programmed into the matrix prison, and it's our quest to free ourselves from that and to empower us to create a life of our own and to fulfill our own dreams. And we cannot wait for anybody to make this happen for us. Nobody will ever come and save us. We have to save ourselves. But in order to be really free to go forward and to create a life that we truly desire and deserve, we need to let go and forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves for past mistakes, the time we lost. Like for me, I'm already 45 years old. And the first half of my life was, I dealt with trauma and unpacking all the trauma and going through multiple dark night of the souls and going through bankruptcy and going through really challenging illnesses and being a single mom for many years and struggling with severe depression over a time span of 10 years and stuff. But now I arrived at a point where I said, I know who I am now, and I know the power that I hold. I'm still integrating it and growing it, but I know I have a blank canvas in front of me, and I know that I'm here to create a life for myself that I truly enjoy. I've arrived at a place of peace and gratitude for each day. If I would have bad feelings towards myself because it took me that long to arrive at this place where a lot of young people that I follow on YouTube, they're so wise and I wish I would have been where they are at the age of 25 or something, but I'm not. It took me 20 more years to arrive at this point. Who knows, for whatever reason. But we only live in the now. There only exists the presence, the now. There is no past, there is no future. We can never go there. We cannot go back physically to the past. We cannot go back. We cannot visit the future. Like with our bodies, with our whole conscious experience, we can just mentally fantasize about it. But as we do it, as we remember or we visualize, we are still in the here and now. So the here and the now is the only place that exists. And everything else is just mental clutter, stories. And most of it is made up because, as science knows, our memories are actually not that accurate. So just let go. Just let go. Don't hold any resentment towards yourself for whatever it was you believed in, whatever you did. You have always, every day, the possibility to start a new life and to create the life of your dreams. And another card that I drew from the Soul Mirror Oracle was Limits and Limitless, which speaks about the limitations we put on ourselves. If we think about the dream life that we truly want, what is abundance for us? What is prosperity for us? How much money do we actually want to make? Then there probably are stories from our past, maybe inhibited from our ancestors, our families, about how much money we can make. If we come from a poor family, maybe it seems unattainable to have an income of $10,000 a month or whatever. And we are asked to look at those limitations we place upon ourselves and to change the perspective into limitless thinking. or not being bound to some confinement of our dream. If we dream, we should dream about that, what we truly want to achieve, and not what we think that is attainable, which is putting a limit on our dream. So if you imagine your dream life and your income, your prosperity, whatever it is you want to experience in this life, make sure that you create a limitless dream about your life. And then we have from the Healing Heart oracle, Adventurous Heart, set sail on a trip of a lifetime, which is also a beautiful energy coming to this reading, because it talks about, we all, I would say everybody, every human longs for a certain amount of adventure, of newness, of excitement in their lives. How can you create a life that excites you, where you have the feeling of going on an adventure and creating a life that you truly desire, where you create goals for yourself that really make you feel alive and excited, make you feel good. This is an energy you can harness to motivate you to do the necessary steps and to get out of the rut of routines. Routines are beautiful, like rituals and stuff. They help to ground us in our daily lives and our reality. But we also need an adventure every now and then to really truly feel our life force, to make new memories, to gain new experiences, new knowledge, get to know new people, new cultures even, and broaden your perspective of the world and life itself. I think it's an essential quality. And if you integrate that into your whole search for abundance, I think you're feeding your dream with a powerful, powerful energy, because it's life force itself. Creativity is life force itself. We are abundant creators. Not everybody has come to that conclusion or knowledge or insight yet, that we truly hold the power to create our own lives. But this is what I'm talking about with this whole reading. And the pinnacle of this reading is from the the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, an archetypal card, which is called the Light Weaver. Whenever I work with this oracle deck, I somehow draw this card. And I really truly resonate with this archetype. It talks about the light weaver is a person that holds an abundant energy, and she's very joyful and uplifting, and wherever she goes, she brings abundance to that place and to the people surrounding her, because she has a mindset of positivity and hope and possibility and joy. Her whole expression of her life force is very joyous and hopeful and positive. I resonate with this one very much. And this card talks about that you are the gift. And ask yourself, what is it that is truly you? What comes easy to you? What is it that you can give to others that comes naturally and easy to you? For me, it's my energy. I cannot help it. Whenever I am together with people that I truly enjoy. I'm a very, very positive person. I cannot help it. If someone has any doubts or, I don't know, negativity, I have this, I don't know, this mindset of reframing things. Like, can you view it from a different perspective? Can you change it into something helpful? Can you change it into something positive that ignites something within you? Can you view it not as something that punishes you, but as something that challenges you? You can use to grow and expand. And I think I arrived at this place because I myself went through so many dark times and so many challenges. And the only way from rock bottom is up. And I hit rock bottom so many times that I practiced this mindset of, how can I reframe this? How can I view this in a positive and helpful way? Because let's not talk about the other option. Because from rock bottom there's only then the exit, and that was never a true option for me. So, and I learned to transmute pain and like all those negative thoughts and feelings of complete failure and hopelessness and everything you feel when you think all is lost. Turning this around and using it as fuel to lift yourself back up and choose yourself and choose to grow even larger after that fall. That's a superpower. And I've integrated to the point that I believe I will probably never fall back that deep, because I have learned to catch myself. I have learned to rescue myself quickly, to catch myself when I just, the moment I'm falling, no, I know how to hold on to myself. It's not happening, because I've mastered that. You can do that. You can truly do that. And the card talks about, if you bring prosperity and abundance to others, because that's the energy you inhabit, the universe is reciprocal. Is that a word? The energy you give out always flows back to you. It's a resonant universe. The frequency you hold, you will receive, because the outer world is just a mirror for yourself, and how you show up and what you give out into the world is what is going to be reflected back onto you. So if you can find a way to feel abundant, to feel prosperous, or at least to feel joyful and playful and have good feelings about yourself. And one important aspect to this is not making everything about yourself, which is what this card is speaking about, the ego, the egocentric view, geocentric model. If you shift your perspective from me to what can I give to this world, not from a place of giving to receive, that would be manipulative, and that's not the energy we want to embody, but from a place of wholeness and fullness. And because I know this thing, maybe you sing very well, and because you love singing, you can bring your beautiful voice to the world and lift the mood and the energy of others around you with your beautiful singing, or whatever music instrument you might play, or if you write poetry, or if you like helping people, older people, getting their groceries, or I don't know, you like looking after kids and you might just help your neighbors out, and they love you and they will want to pay you for it, or at least give you something back, because that's the nature of humans. Maybe you have a person that is in their shadow and greedy and just takes your gift, takes advantage of you. You should practice discernment. If there are people that are only takers, you should stop giving to them, because boundaries, you know. But most of the time, if you have people that truly enjoy your gift, they want to give something back to you. And this is what this card is truly talking about, the reciprocity. And what you give, you will eventually receive. Maybe not from the source you first gave to, but it comes around. The universe finds ways to give back to you. And through raising the abundance of other people, you eventually raise your own abundance. That's law, the law of cause and effect and karma, and as within so without, and all these laws that we have in the universe. So let's bind this whole reading together. So dissolution talks about dissolving the ego, but with kindness. Geocentric model. Look at your wounds. Look at the pain you hold within you, and the what was it? The shadow self, and go deeper and heal it with self-love. And try working together with other people, because if you work together with others, you create beautiful, abundant energy. You feel abundant, they feel abundant, and you create a spirit of abundance between you two, and it will protect you, that spirit of abundance. Have a hopeful outlook on life. Know that you are worthy. You don't need to envy other people. Envy is a very low vibrational feeling. Just make friends with people whose life you really admire, so that you can learn from them. Maybe look at whether you have this wound of invisibility. Was there something in your childhood that made you feel invisible, or that you don't matter, which is actually the unworthiness wound, which is the root cause of a lack of abundance? Let go of those stories of your past self. Dissolve this identity, this lack identity, this lack beliefs, this negative labels you put on yourself, and create a vision for your life that is limitless. And make sure that you feel excited about that vision, that you feel excited about creating this new life for yourself, and view it like going on the greatest adventure of your life is building your life that you truly enjoy and love. And I want to close out this reading with this, it's not a mantra, It's an affirmation, this beautiful affirmation, which comes from the Cosmic Wealth Codes Oracle. And it says, the universe is continuously working to bring me the abundance I desire. That's your affirmation. Maybe write it down, read it on a daily basis. And I wish you the best of luck on your endeavor. This is your message for today. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps this channel grow and help more people find meaningful messages to improve their lives. So thank you very much, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye-bye.